we'll talk about set of real number, very fundamental set. Because with this set of real number, we'll talk about lots of things, like about linear algebra, about complex analysis, about game theory. We should know how this set of real number form, and what is the difference between set of real number and a set of rational number. So first thing is field property. Like every set doesn't have these properties. Like set of natural number is not a field. It doesn't have these property what I'm going to tell you from 1 to 5. So what are these property? Set of real numbers defined by this R symbol. Say in this set a b c dot dot are the real numbers, and I define two operations, addition and multiplication, in such a way that the sum has sum and product of real numbers has unique real numbers. So first property is called commutative property. In this property, what has shown, a plus b is equal to b plus a, means if I add two elements, I will not care about the order how I am adding. If I am adding 2 to 3, I'll get 5. If I get 3 to 2, then again I'll get 5. So order doesn't affect the addition in the case of real number. Similarly, in the case of product, if I multiply 2 by 3 or 3 by 2, I'll get 6 only. So this is called commutative property. First property is commutative property. And second property, if I'm adding three elements, three real numbers, I can put bracket anywhere. Bracket won't affect the sum. So a plus b plus c is equal to, if I add a plus b together and then in the sum add with the c, I'll get the same sum. Similarly, in the case of multiplication, if I multiply three numbers, I will not care about the order, how I'm multiplying, which two are multiplying first and which two are multiplying at the last. This property is called commutative property. And the third property is distributive property. What I'm doing here, I'm just distributing two things, like b plus c. I'm distributing a to b plus c. So I will multiply a to b plus then a to c. So this is called distributing property. So I am distributing multiplication to the addition. Fourth property is called identity. So if I add 0 to any real number, I'll get the same real number. So 0 is called additive identity. And similarly, for the multiplication, if I multiply any real number by 1, I'll get the same real number. So 1 is multiplicative identity. And in the fifth, for each real number a, there exists a unique real number b such that a plus b is equal to 0. So for suppose my a is 2, so what would be the unique b such that I'll add in 2, I'll get 0. So clearly it will be minus 2. If I add 2 with minus 2, I'll get 0. So for each real number, I'll get unique b. So this unique b is called inverse, additive inverse of a, if I get some 0. Similarly, and in the case of multiplication, for each a, I'll get unique b such that product of these a and b will be 1. So 1 is called multiplicative identity. Any set with these two operations plus and dot and satisfy these five property, I'll call that set as a field. The set of rational number is also a field. Set of rational number also satisfy these properties. And you can ask me why set of natural number is not a field. Why? Because it does not satisfy fifth property. Because like I cannot find uh, a natural number which like I have a natural number 2, and I cannot find another natural number which I multiply with 2 and I'll get 1. There is no such natural number. So set of natural number is not a field. Similarly, set of integer is also not a field. So set of rational number is a field. We come to the next property of real number, which is called ordering property. So I can define these symbols between the real numbers. Like if I take two real numbers, I can always say which is greater and which which one is greater and whether they are greater or less or equal. So first property say if I have three real number ABC, first says either A is less than B or A is equal to B or A is greater than B. And second property, if A is less than B and if I add C to the both side, A plus C is also less than B plus C. And third property says if A is less than B, then I multiply by a positive number C to the both side. The symbol remains, this inequality remains unchanged. A dot C is less than B dot C. So this is called ordering property. Next is the proposition. Suppose X and Y are real numbers, then X multiplied by Y is less than equal to half of X square plus Y square, with the equality if and only if X equal to Y. So we are going to prove it. This is also called geometric mean is less than the arithmetic mean. So we are going to prove it. How will we prove it? So we know square of any number is always positive. So I am taking square of x minus x whole square of x minus y. The first condition is 0 is less than x minus y whole square, because square of any number is always positive. So I will open this formula. X minus y whole square is equal to x square plus y square minus 2xy. So 0 is less than x square plus y square minus 2xy. So I can write it with the equality if and only if x equal to y. 2xy is less than equal to x square plus y square. So now I can write xy is less than equal to half of x square plus y square. So I can like generalize this thing. There were only two numbers. Now I'm taking n numbers. So I'm saying this, I'm generalizing it, that the arithmetic mean is always greater than the geometric mean of n elements. Say if n is a natural number and a1, a2, a3, daughter an are positive real numbers, so geometric mean of these real numbers is always less than the arithmetic mean if condition is that all AKs are equal. So this is the basic thing about the geometric and arithmetic mean. We used to study this geometric and arithmetic mean in our 10th class. So next, this is the property which this distinguish real number from the set of rational number. The property is called completeness. So what is this completeness property? Like till here, field property and ordering property, these two properties are there in the set of rational number also. In the set of rational number, we can define these three properties and those five properties of the field property. And this is the different property, completeness property, which distinguishes set of real number from the set of rational number. What does this property mean? Every non-empty subset of R, if it is bounded above, then it has supremum in R. Every non-empty bounded subset of R has supremum in R. So if I say this completeness property for Q, suppose every non-empty subset of Q which is bounded above has supremum in Q. This is not true for the Q. Why it is not true? We have this example 8. Suppose we have set A which is subset of Q, and A is defined in such a manner, those element of Q such that x square is less than 2. So basically we can see set A is bounded. There is no element with in A which is greater than 2. Now we are trying to find the least upper bound, means supremum of A in Q. Whether supremum of A is in Q. If it is in Q, then I'll say this Q is complete. If it is not in Q, then I'll say Q is not complete. So A is bounded above. Clearly it is shown from this, because every element in A is bounded by 2. So A has no supremum in Q. Why? Because if I take supremum in Q, what would be the supremum? Like every x is bounded by square root 2. So square root 2 is a irrational number, cannot be in a set of rational number. Irrational number is a distinguished set of from the set of rational number. So square root 2 doesn't comes under the set of rational number. So in this way, we'll say कि Q is not complete. Why? The supremum of A does not in Q, but certainly supremum of A is in set of real number. Why? Root 2 is a real number, because what is real number? Real number is the union of rational numbers and irrational number. In set of rational number, both in set of real number, both the rational and irrational comes. So A has supremum in R. So in this way, R is complete and Q is not complete. So in this way, we can say set of real number is distinguished from the set of rational number. So I hope it is clear now. It was the definition for the real number. How do we define real number? These three properties real number have, and the last property which real number have, and Q doesn't possess that property. So we are going to talk about now how the mathematics works in multidisciplinary areas. I hope it is clear to all this example. Okay, so now we are going to talk about multidisciplinary use of mathematics. So first we talk about Navier-Stokes equation is a partial differential equation. Describe the flow of incompressible fluid or turbulent flow. To find a smooth, reasonable solution of three-dimensional Navier-Stokes equation is a millennium problem, is in the one of the 7 problem described by Clay Mathematical Society. If you find the smooth solution of Navier-Stokes equation, you'll get $1 million by the Clay Mathematical Society. So this Navier-Stokes equation used in the turbulent flow, different type of gas, liquids. It is also used in aerodynamics, deals with the motion of air and other gaseous fluid. Also model the wings of aircraft. So like Joss Stem in 1999 published an article by the name uh, Dynamics of Games. It was highly cited article where he used a process of stable fluid simulation method coupled with the unconditionally stable semi-Lagrangian method using Navier-Stokes equation. So he used Navier-Stokes equation into the developing video games. So after this, many research has been published. Uh, he also published in 2003 another article named Real-Time Fluid Dynamics for Games. So where he talk about how we use uh, mathematics into formation of video games. The more recent implementation based upon his work on the game system graphic processing unit, which overcome central processing unit and achieved a much higher degree of performance. Like later people use graphic processing unit, like now also people are using it to develop more and more games. This is the multidisciplinary use of mathematics. Now we move forward to the medical science. In medical science, we use many mathematical equation about the incompressible fluid used for the prediction of blood pressure or blood flow. Fourth order partial differential equation used to find the quantitative performance of MRI. The large artery in the human body is aorta. I have done some mathematical modeling for the formation of lesion, that is disorder in aorta, during my multidisciplinary project conducted between IIT Delhi and AIIMS Delhi, in which we have found how this aorta rupture when lesion forms into the aorta. So it was one application for this. I have also used polytonic solution of partial differential equation in telecommunication for the signal transmission in optical fibers. I have given the links also. There are many more multidisciplinary application of mathematics available in recent research. You can find it on the various platform like many of the journals pages, and there are many on the ResearchGate, LinkedIn as well. So these were the all.